Hi, everybody. Moss Jackson, again, psychologist and success coach, welcoming you to Mondays with Moss. How to live an extraordinary life, a life of success, accomplishment, and happiness. I hope the audio is up on this one. I just did a video, but my friend Joe Morrison texted me and said, I like how you look, but am I getting any audio? So one thing I'm learning is to bounce back and be resilient, a key principle of living an extraordinary life. So I want to mention something about where did we start and where are we going? So where we started was I decided to do a series of live videos called Living an Extraordinary Life, life of success, accomplishment, and happiness. So the first one I did about 5 weeks ago was on what does it look like to live an extraordinary life. Then the next week I did something kind of interesting. I went the opposite direction from living extraordinarily to living really quite poorly, which is 11 ways to stay miserable. So I find a lot of people call me up for coaching or therapy, have ways of thinking and have beliefs that are really negative. So I decided to give you the 11 most powerful negative ways to think. So you can take a look on Moss Jackson, author, and do a replay. If you have trouble finding it, call me and I'll see if I can find it for you. Then we went through 3 programs on how people go through life, either as victims, survivors, and navigators. An example of victim would be Larry David from the Larry David Show, if you've seen that pathetic character. And then a survivor might be Trump. To me, Trump is not a navigator. I'll tell you why in another video. I think he's a really tough street fighting survivor, though. Gets a lot done, but a lot of roadkill. And then there are navigators. Who are navigators? Michael Jordan, he moved from being a survivor to a navigator. Oprah Winfrey, Obama, Nelson Mandela, and hopefully a number of you are navigators. So I know a lot of you who have worked with me, we've talked about moving from being a survivor to a navigator. Then we talked last week about a particular legendary football coach, Dick Vermeil, who took 2 teams to the Super Bowl. One team, the Eagles, brought him to the Super Bowl, but failed to win. And then he left coaching for about 14 years. Then came back, used my formula, Navigating for Success, and took the Rams to the Super Bowl and won it. So I think Dick, in the forward to my book, Navigating Success, acknowledges that the work we did was key in helping him move from a limiting belief to an empowering belief and really being successful. So this week, I'm opening up the Navigator's Toolkit, what you need to know to be successful. And between now and the rest of this program, over the next couple of months, I'll be talking about the tools you can use to be successful. So there's an underlying theme, which is life ignition, igniting your life. It's kind of like, well, in one way, your life is extraordinary because you got born. The chances of you being born about 1 in 20 million. So, my God, 1 in 20 million. You won the lottery. You got born. But now it's like life is like having wood like kindling, but it's not ignited yet. So we got to find a way to ignite your life so it's exciting and passionate, and you're really enjoying it and being happy. So kindling is like you need it to stay warm, but you need to light it. If you have a match or a way of lighting it, great, then you have warmth. Life, what you got born into, you're existing, but now we got to ignite it with passion and a positive belief. So my perspective is that really, what I'm going to say to you is not very complicated. Probably when I give you my Navigating for Success formula, you might say, is that it? It seems so simple. I thought about that. Well, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Maybe you've thought of different components, but you may not have put the package together. So I want to give you the package and the actions you can take. So basically, you are what you think. Are you thinking like a victim? I can't do it. Nobody cares. It won't work out. It's good for other people, not me. Are you thinking like a survivor? I'm going to win no matter what. I'm going to get the other guy before he gets me. I don't care what I have to do. I have to be successful. Are you thinking like a navigator? I have a dream. I have a vision. I want to make a contribution. I have certain skills I want to put into practice. And I want to the best of my ability, help other people be successful too. I want to be generous. Okay? So if you want life to change, you got to change your thinking. There's a principle, basically, I didn't devise this. It may have come from Joe Dispenza and a number of other people who are into looking at brain hacking, changing the wiring of your brain, which is basically change your thinking, change your beliefs, change your beliefs, change your brain, change your brain, change your destiny. So it all starts with, you don't like how your life is? Look at your thinking. Maybe you need to start changing your thinking. So I've gone through a number of transformations and evolutions over my years. Looking back to when I was born in Brooklyn, I think I grew up early years feeling like a victim. Life was unfair. Other people had it better than me. I once even asked my mother, where was my real mother? Why did you adopt me? And my mother got really, really angry and said, how can you say that to me? And I said, because I'm not very happy here. I really felt like a victim. And I opened my mouth. She wasn't very happy. She didn't give me much empathy. I think she actually sent me to my room or something like that. And then I moved during adolescence into being a survivor. I didn't feel very smart, didn't feel very successful. The one thing I could do well was to run track. So I decided to be the best track runner possible and get a track scholarship. So I became a survivor. Later on, I moved into an adulthood, probably around 30, 35, into thinking and acting like a navigator. And I want to talk to you more about those principles. So there's a formula for navigating for success, the success formula. It's a proven structure for success, accomplishment, and happiness. That's what I want to share with you. So the key is basically you need to be passionate. To me, I think you have to have passion. You have to love something about your life. I don't care what it is. It could be beekeeping. It could be running track, pole vaulting. It could be being a great athlete. It could be being a writer, having a successful career, great relationship, because you love it. It just thrills you. It makes your body feel good. You know what I'm talking about. When you're passionate about something, you feel it in your body. So that's really important. We'll get to that in a minute. And here are the keys. You need to have passion. You need to have, because that gives you energy. That's the ignition for the kindling. You need to have goals that give you direction. You need actions that give you results and power. That makes sense, doesn't it? Passion is energy, goals, direction, actions give you the power and the results. And you need resiliency. You need to be able to bounce back, to renew your courage, renew your confidence, and keep going when the going gets tough. Now, whatever you choose to be successful and passionate about, it's up to you. I don't get to vote on that. You don't get to vote on mine. It's highly personal, and no one gets to vote on anyone else's happiness. It's up to you. Okay, here's the formula. You ready? All right, take out your pencil. I want to tell you the formula for success. That's a proven technique that have taken thousands of people to happiness and success and accomplishment. Success equals passion, gotta fall in love with something, plus goals, plus actions, plus resiliency. That's it. Success equals passion, goals, action, resiliency. But now I got to kind of flesh that out a little bit for you, flesh it out a little bit more for you so you have some clarity on that. So let's say different themes in your life, your career, your family, marriage, your social life, money, health, any number, okay? So I'm going to take you through my formula using one very specific passion, goals, actions, and resiliency that I took to be successful. See if it makes sense to you. Okay, so I love being creative. I love creativity, painting, telling stories, writing in my therapy. Sometimes when I'm doing therapy, I'm surprised listening to what comes out of my mouth. It feels creative to me. My clients or patients seem to enjoy it and thrive on it. So I'm hoping, I have a belief that I'm creative. Anyway, so one area of creativity that I'm passionate about, I decided to work on writing. So writing, I had as a goal. So writing was my kindling. So I had my passion, which was my ignition. So I decided to light the kindling. And I decided to have it as a goal. I had several goals. So I wrote down 3 goals. I wrote down as a goal, write a book. Number 2 was to get people to read it. And 3 was to earn some money from it. And so I decided to choose one, which is just write it. Give up getting people to read it and making money. Just write the goddamn book. So that was the goal. I chose that goal. And then I thought about actions. So think about on the far left-hand side of the paper, you might write passions, 3 passions. Next to it, write down a goal, which is, say, write a book. It could be have a great relationship with your spouse. It could be have a great body you love, okay? Choose a goal, and then you need to take a very powerful action. So in terms of writing a book, I didn't quite know what to do. I never written a book before. So I called a really well-known writer who I love and like a lot, my brother, Bruce Jackson. And I asked him, Bruce, you've written a lot of books, 20, 25. Tell me something I need to think about to be successful in writing a book. So he said, the one thing I think you should do is just write. Every day, choose the same time every day, write for 20 minutes. If you don't know what you're writing, just sit there and look at the goddamn computer or your paper. But dedicate time to writing, and don't edit. Leave it the way it is. Write the whole book and then go back and edit or hire someone to edit. So I took that action. Every day I wrote. I gave up the other actions of getting people to read it. There's nothing to read. I could have given them chapters, and I stopped thinking about selling the book. I had no idea how to market it. So I just wrote. So within a year, I finished my book, Navigating for Success, Passion, Goals, and Action, with a foreword written by Dick Vermeil, the legendary football coach. Pretty cool. If you want to learn more about that and learn about my formula, go on Amazon and read my book, Navigating for Success by Moss Jackson, and I'll love you to do that. So, and then the resiliency. So you have passion, goals, writing a book, actions. The action I chose, because you can only hit one golf ball at a time. So the golf ball I decided it was just write the book, not anything else. I was very, very focused. I was obsessive about that goal of writing every day. And the more I did it, the better I got at it, the more I liked it. And the resiliency was I had to fight the urge to go back and edit it. I also shared the ideas with people in my therapy, my coaching, and people I talked to. I also gave talks on Navigating for Success. I was making up the book as I was writing it by talking about it. I got feedback from people, and I probably talked to about 10,000 people in talks and coaching and got their feedback and incorporated their thinking into the book. Finally got the book done, kept bouncing back even when I didn't want to do it. Finally was done, and then I went back and edited it, and I got it to an editor. I hired an editor. She reread it, liked it, we shaped it up, and then history was made, so to speak. I decided to self-publish, so I found a way of getting it published on the internet. And then I found a printer in Westchester, printed 500 copies, sold all those or gave them away. And I've been doing now for over 10 years, and I've written 4 books, and now I've written a film script, an autobiographical film script called If My Mother's Dead, Why Am I Still Arguing With Her? If my mother's dead, why am I still arguing with her? It goes back to when she didn't like when I said to her about, are you my adopted mom? Who's my real mom? Anyway, it's going to be a Woody Allen comedy. And now I wrote it. The film script is written. I use the same formula. And now I'm using my success formula to raise the money to do a 5-minute trailer that I could then start to bring to film festivals like Sundance Film Festival, or get to producers to take a look at it and see if they want to purchase the project. Who knows? I don't know if I'm going to succeed in this, but man, I am determined because I'm having a great time living an extraordinary life. So I have an assignment for you if you like what I'm saying. So this week, between now and next Monday, think about 3 things you love about your life, 3 passions. It could be a relationship, it could be a dog, it could be something, it could be long distance swimming. My friend Jeff DeLone loves to make long distance swims. He goes in the ocean the whole year, no matter what the weather is. It could be a storm. He loves to swim. He thrives on swimming. Well, so it doesn't matter, but write down 3 things you're passionate about. And then, on a piece of paper, write down, think a theme of life. Whatever that passion is. It could be about sports. It could be about writing. It could be about making money. It could be about improving a relationship. Write it down. You have to write it down. Get it out of your head onto paper. And next to it, on the column next to it, make a column and write down wishes, desires, and goals. Wish, desire, and goal. And write down, in terms of this particular activity, I have a desire. My desire is to, let's say it's physical health, to lose 30 pounds. A goal might be to change my waistline from 36 to 33. A wish might be to do it within 3 months. So write all three, and then choose one that really kind of rings true. That's your lighting fire to your killing. Whichever one you like the best, great, choose that. Then on the column next to it, write down 3 actions you could take to move in that direction. For me, it was writing every day. For you, it could be exercising 20 minutes a day. It could be changing your eating habits. It could be going to yoga. And then choose one, which is your primary golf ball to hit, so to speak. And every day for a month, 2 months, 3 months, practice that one goal diligently. Be obsessed. Really, be obsessed. Do not try to be fair-minded about it. I think obsession could be very useful if you're able to choose the action in the direction of your passion and your goals, and practice that. So at least write it down. You may not be ready to start it yet because you've got to think about resiliency and how to bounce back. So those are the goals I'd like you to practice this week. You write down your passion, a theme in your life, choose a goal, and write down 3 actions, and then choose the one action that makes the most sense to you, called the Pareto principle. Choose the goal that will produce the biggest return on investment. Next week, I want to talk to you more about the success formula, and I want to talk to you a little bit about resiliency. And I might even want to talk to you about 2 wolves that live in your heart. The 2 wolves that live in your heart that really are competing for your energy and your attention. So, my friends and colleagues, I wish you well. Have an extraordinary week. It's still summer, moving into Labor Day. Plan to get down to the beach around Wednesday. Give some more thought to my talk next week. But I'm definitely going to have a great time being with my family and enjoying my golf buddies and being at the beach. Anyway, love you all. See you next week. Bye.